Welcome back. Two dads drinking a lesbian. This is season 2, episode 4.
That was great.
You guys can tell I didn't get punished again this week.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh man. So the deal is, every time I'm gonna take a drink, I gotta also take a hit of helium. So this will be interesting. So I'm gonna take my drink.
What are we drinking today, guys?
What is this one? Legend.
Like legend, but legend.
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 It's a Tennessee
Kentucky bourbon.
Oh yeah, wait, I gotta test
There you go.
that.
Cheers,
Cheers,
cheers.
cheers.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. Legend. Thumbs up.
You like
Yeah,
it?
I like
good.
it. Definitely good.
I don't hate it. So
Where are we recording from?
we're
again.
we're recording from the Dough Bar. We're gonna say that up front. We just want to thank them again for having us for the last couple of weeks. We really love this location and
Yeah.
very, very improved on the set design, I would say.
On the digs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still gonna go back to I wish they were open on Tuesday so we could have food in this.
Oh, we'd be
Yeah.
smashing some
Oh, my
food.
God.
I'd be gaining a lot of weight if that was
Yeah.
the case.
Donnie, where you
Yeah,
Right.
we gotta open so I can gain weight on Tuesday nights.
at?
Okay.
We are in Southside, by the way.
So clearly, you see my punishment here, guys. We already kind of explained what was going on. I obviously lost. The Ravens lost. They basically blew it.
So who won that game?
Not my team.
I picked the winner in that game.
Yeah.
We should have had a head then that one.
Dolphins.
So to break that down real quick, I lost, Jack lost, but Sean and Jack's game were head to head basically, and
So
the
Sean
Ravens blew a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter for the Dolphins to actually win it, which then upgraded my loss to a win, even though it's not going to show as a win in the record.
I'm just thirsty.
And so now Jack's got to be sucking in that helium throughout the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a headache by the end of this.
What's
but
your
it's-
balloon say, by the way?
It says it's a boy.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It says it's a boy.
That was definitely my choice.
That's why you're the lesbian of the show.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I'm glad you said that.
Oh boy.
Week 2 news.
Yeah, week 2 news, kind of like we have an injury to Lance, obviously, for the 49ers.
All right. So I
Little
want to call time out
broken
real quick
ankle.
on what you're about to say.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to tell everybody, me and Mr. Hoover over here used to have a show called The Third Stringers. What was this, like 3 or 4 years ago now?
I think it's been like 5 or 6.
No, I've only been at Deacon Hoover 4 years. It was while I was at Deacon Hoover.
Okay.
So
It seems like a long time ago.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, very
However, if you go back and you watch the early part of that season, you will know how much of a man crush this guy has on the 49ers' new ex-quarterback or whatever you want to call him.
I mean, Jimmy
Jimmy
G was
G.
the next coming of Tony Romo. He went to the same college.
Nonetheless,
hate
I
Jimmy
just wanted to go back.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't hate Jimmy G either, but
And he's a very handsome dude. Like,
I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I think they're silly.
I just was
for not-
thinking about it when he came back in, and I wanted to remind everybody of that level of affection.
I mean,
Never reached Tony Romo levels, but it was pretty bad that year.
I thought Jimmy G was the shit. And honestly, like, he might not. The weird thing about it is, I think most women probably find him sexy, but he's not sexy on the field. Like, he's kind of boring to watch,
Trent Dilfer.
but he wins. He just fucking wins.
Well, he's in that system, that 49er system that's really easy to be
but he
consistent
fits
in.
that system. He wins. He knows his stuff. He knows where to throw the ball. He's smart. He's got a good arm.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy G. And I think that the 49ers right now are probably celebrating.
Well, they're
because
lucky.
They don't have to go through this awkward moment of, oh shit,
Yeah.
we made the wrong decision.
And
No,
they
they
have to
think-
have a coach, a quarterback who's not even as good as Jimmy G to then learn your system that they don't have a freaking
Do you
clue what's
see he
going
gets a
on.
bonus now?
Yeah, he's gonna get a
An
bonus.
extra. No, he gets an extra 500,000 a game that he starts
Damn, that's pretty nice.
over his regular contract.
No, Jimmy G's a smart guy. Wait, hold on. I have to do that. Jimmy G's a smart guy. What can I say?
I mean, he took a
He's
pay
gonna kill
cut.
it.
He took a pay cut. He didn't have to take a pay cut, so
Mm-mm.
at least they gave him the bonus to back.
He
it
made
up.
it work for himself at the end of the day.
But yeah, so I'm thinking the 49ers. To me, the 49ers were kind of down on my list. Now they might be the NFC favorite with Jimmy G in there, and they're healthy. Debo's healthy.
No,
Kittle's coming back soon.
hopefully, and they just lost their starting running back. They've been playing a bunch of guys. They just brought a bunch of guys in.
They do running back by committee anyway. So, but
not when you don't have a committee of backs to back.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of Trey Sermon before the season. They moved on from who's the guy in Miami now? Mostert.
Oh yeah, I really like Mostert too. He's just injury prone.
He did good for Miami this week. Thanks,
Yeah.
Honestly, Miami's a good team.
Oh, they got so many weapons in Miami.
Yeah.
All right, so that's really the only fake news, right? From
Pretty much.
So now we go into week 2 reactions. Is that what we're gonna do next?
Yeah, pretty much.
Whatever you guys want to do. I'm just here.
I honestly missed a lot of the games, so I'm kind of disappointed. I was at a birthday party for a friend, so I missed some games, early games. Basically, I missed. Other than the Steelers game, I caught that on somebody's mobile phone, which I was flipping out the whole time.
Oh, wait, there wasn't anything interesting in that game anyway.
I mean, but I was still losing it. Oh.
To talk about your Steelers as an outsider looking in, and I went and I watched the game with my mom, who's obviously one of the fans of our show. She watches every week.
Lois.
And I have to say, I don't think everybody's bashing on Mitch. I don't think it's Mitch.
It's the coordinator, dude. I've told you this.
I think they're telling him not to throw the ball deep.
He's the coordinator. He's a piece of. I said it last year.
Tomlin already came out today and said he's not really happy with the situation with him. He's made it pretty known.
What can you do? If actually somebody pulled the reports on the linemen, because everybody wants to blame the line.
Mm-hmm.
James Daniel is one of the top 5 guards in the league right now. The guy we brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Our offensive tackle Okafor, which everybody thinks is horrible, is a top 5 tight tackle right now in the league. So our line is not horrible. Our other guard, by the way, is in the top 10. The other guard we have on the other side,
and your receivers are great. I mean, the interception was bad, but other than the interception, he played a good game. It seems like they're telling him not to throw deep.
They have no pressure. They don't throw deep, which doesn't open it up for the running game. So
right, yeah, they're just not opening up for a multi.
You can't run the ball if you don't throw the ball.
And some other, week 2 stuff that I have to get off my chest.
Oh man,
is I may be slightly off about the Philadelphia Eagles. They look really fucking good after 2 weeks.
Yeah, I picked them.
And
you see how I've been running his mouth to him.
Well, and Jalen threw better this week than he did last week. He was very inconsistent.
But he plays the Michael Vick game.
Yeah,
I have to wonder, are the Eagles that good, or are the Vikings that bad?
No, the Vikings are not that bad.
Or what the deal is.
The Vikings didn't look that bad in week 1, and then the Packers won.
The Eagles shut down Justin Jefferson last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, completely shut him down. I think he had 3 catches the whole night.
46 yards or something like that.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Nothing for him.
Yeah, nothing for him. And then the other thing is that nobody else was helping on that offense. Irv Smith dropped a really nice 40-yard bomb that probably would have been a touchdown. So yeah, it was just an ugly night for.
I'm gonna go the opposite end of what you just said.
How about the boys?
No,
Cooper Rush, baby.
I'm gonna.
And there goes Laura's phone.
I'm gonna go to the Bills on the opposite end of that. They are dominant.
Yeah, but we know that.
All both ends of the ball. Yeah, but I was expecting with the offense. I didn't know the defense was going to be that unreal this year.
Well, the only thing that makes me kind of temper my feelings for the Bills, right, is overall, I mean, I think that the Rams have looked really bad through 2 weeks. I mean, they won, yeah. But they almost let the Falcons win, right, at the end. And then they got their ass kicked by the Bills. The Bills are winning and winning in fashion right now. I mean, they're just trashing people right now. However,
and supposedly the teams they've played so far, well, the Rams are defending champs.
Right.
The Titans were in the playoffs last year. It's not if they're playing scrubs.
I'm actually really intrigued, which we'll talk maybe about it in the week 3 matchups, but I'm intrigued to see what happens when they face the Dolphins, who seem to be a pretty decent team this year.
They've shown their offensive prowess at least.
Yeah, so we'll see. But the Bills definitely look. The Bills and the Chiefs probably look the most impressive out of everybody, which, I mean, going into the season probably would have been everybody's thoughts, right?
Yeah. Well, Mahomes is looking like Mahomes,
right?
Yeah.
Which people didn't know what to expect because he had all those new receivers, so people weren't sure. But it just looks like Mahomes, which is the best quarterback in the league, no matter what you say. He
Yeah, I feel
throws the
like-
ball
And
the best. He
Tyreek
throws the
Hill
ball.
looks like Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill. I
Even
mean,
with a new quarterback.
even with the new
Even
quarterback,
with the
which was
quarterback.
my big concern for him going.
Yeah,
into
but
this
you
year.
add on Jalen Waddle on the other side of him. Man, dude, those two together.
There's a lot of
You got two
Yes.
top 10 receivers on the same team.
And two of the top 5 fastest receivers in the league.
Oh yeah.
Him and Waddle. That's crazy. To have to cover that, the speed on those two, that's just ridiculous.
yeah, that is tough to have two people that quick
That's just
covering in the
ridiculous.
same.
And they were throwing deep. Tua, who can't throw deep, was throwing deep.
I mean, again, the NFL almost looked scripted to where like we
Yeah.
had two
Yeah.
miraculous comebacks.
Oh, 100%.
One in the 1 o'clock window, one in the 4 o'clock window, right? The Cardinals were down 20-0 at one
Man.
point in that game and brought it back to put it into overtime.
Madden controller Kyler Murray.
Oh, my goodness. He's got some sort of like when he turns it on, he might be the most unstoppable player in the NFL.
He moves anywhere he wants to, and you can't touch him.
No, yeah, for
And
sure.
And he knows that.
He has that Mahomes almost like flick of a wrist type of thing.
He has it
going
in
on.
moments,
He
but
can let it go from any direction.
But if any court, even Lamar Jackson, I love Lamar Jackson for what he can do. But Kyler Murray, what I saw out of that game, Lamar Jackson's probably the fastest. Murray is the most elusive. He's the one that can't be touched
Right.
if he doesn't want to be.
Right. Yeah, it just depends on what mood he's in. Or
Correct.
if Call of Duty was released the night before. Or whatever, to be honest.
Yeah,
You know
if he
that-
did-
That's the rumor now. Is that like
Oh yeah.
anytime Call of Duty has like they have their tournament weekends and all that, like Kyler Murray's winning percentage is like really low. It's like 15% on a Call of Duty tournament.
That's
weekend.
why they made him sign that part of the contract.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, I would have never. I guess I should
No,
almost.
that's what it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, because they were saying he didn't do enough homework because he was playing Madden, or not Madden, but
Oh
Call of Duty
shit!
so
I
much.
thought it was like other stuff, but that's even funnier.
No, it was a
They're
video
like, bro,
game,
you
so-
need to be watching film, my guy.
mean,
He's like, oh, I am watching film.
I guess we should almost
I'm-
expect that from this new generation of football players.
I wouldn't.
right?
I'm not
Like,
surprised.
Like we grew up with video games, but video games are even more relevant for the
Yeah,
younger generation.
absolutely.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. That's what, dude. That's what. Well, how many people in this world make money off that now?
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Lois.
Streaming.
You're not going to make money off that.
Lois was the one that my mom. She was the one that was saying like, you got to get out and do some of those video games are going to ruin things for you and da 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 da. Like,
Little did she know.
little did she know if I would have just been
Twitch was coming right around the
Twitch,
corner.
right,
YouTube.
a fat YouTuber.
Could have had
I
your
would've-
in Discord at this point.
I would, yeah, I'd be making millions of dollars playing video games.
And all you had to do is play Madden. You could have do Madden Dynasties and just put them on there as
Literally.
rebuilds.
Yep. Yeah, I could have done whatever.
There's a
but
guy right now. with
Lois, we
5
were
million followers.
giving you mad props before, but it sounds like he's giving you a lot of crap right now.
This isn't the first.
I'll hit him for you, Lois. I'll hit him for you. I got you.
It's not the first time we brought that one up in the show.
We got one more week 2 thing we got to talk about, right?
What?
Which one do we go with?
What do you want to talk about?
How about them Cowboys,
How about-
right?
We waited. It's been a few weeks.
I mean,
Finally.
you know,
How about that, boys?
I mean, they helped your Steelers by beating the Bengals. A game,
Technically, our Steelers are still first place in the division. So.
a game that the
Fine thing.
that's a game that the Cowboys had no business winning, right? But
Mhm.
again, I hit the same notes that I hit last week that like our defense is legit, and Micah Parsons is a man among boys, right? Like he is just, I mean, he's
Did he get
unblocked.
defensive player of the week?
Oh, I don't know, but he had probably 25 pressures and 2 sacks, and then he created like 3 other sacks based on his pressures.
Basically, without TJ Watt playing, he's
Yeah, him and
I forgot that I
TJ,
had a balloon. And I could just like beat this off of both of you at
We didn't
any
think
given
this through,
time.
did we?
No, you did not.
him and TJ are like born in the same shell, right?
Right.
Like, but again, I've been talking a lot. I mean, I'm probably the president of the Cooper Rush fan club, and
There we go.
I mean, I don't think there's a huge drop off now that Dak isn't running as much as he
Cooper
used
Rush
to.
for president.
Yeah, I mean, Dak is obviously a better athlete than Cooper Rush is, but like
Mhm.
arm talent, and they're probably about the same. If not, maybe Cooper Rush has a slight advantage there. And then I will say that Cooper Rush did a couple of things that Dak doesn't do, and that's get rid of the ball fast so he doesn't get hit, which behind a rocky offensive line is important. And then number 2 is he knows how to take advantage of that free play action, right? Like it drives me crazy that Dak Prescott is a professional quarterback and doesn't know how to throw the ball deep on a free play. And Cooper, he had 2 free plays, and both times he took shots. One was a 44-yard pass completed to Noah Brown. So, I mean, I was very impressed. Actually, the only time I wasn't impressed, it seemed like the Cowboys like literally took the foot off the gas on purpose. Like, hey, we're going to play very conservative here. We got to a 14-point lead against the Bengals. We're going to play very conservative, and they let the Bengals kind of back into the game. But the defense prevailed at the end, and Cooper made a game-winning drive. So he's 2-0 as a starter and 2 game-winning drives.
Yeah.
Can't hate on that. And then, of course, Brett Maher, who I got to apologize to that guy. I have bashed him so much over the years because he was our kicker in, like, I think 2018. And he was, like, legit the worst kicker I've ever seen. And then when they re-signed him, I was devastated that they moved on from Greg Beleg, who was inconsistent, but at least he had a powerful leg. And back to Brett Maher. He is 3 for 3, all over 50 yards. So you gotta love that.
Yeah, but you
Like,
notice, I don't know if anybody else noticed so far early in this year how many kickers are just
Oh my god.
50, 55, 60. They're almost becoming
They're
common
boot.
yeah,
right now.
it's. I mean, anything under 60 is like.
Well, I think
Well,
that
it's-
I think that it comes with like, you know, like these players are like they used to be back in the day, like a lot of soccer
Well, the
players. and-
kickers juiced.
yeah, and like it's like now they're like taken more seriously. So these guys are really
I think what it probably is that parents probably just like the Tiger Woods thing, is they probably just started these kids at a very young age kicking field goals, you know, and
I have a feel-
and had them lifting weights in specific ways and doing the right
Mhm.
things, and then these kids get to that level and they can just bomb field goals.
I have a feeling a lot of them probably could in the past, but they never had the accuracy as some of these guys do now. So they never
Yeah.
tried it because the accuracy wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten better, but what part of the game hasn't really gotten better? I mean,
Yeah, well,
quarterbacks
that's
have gotten
natural
better.
evolution.
I think it was you and me, or if not, it was somebody else I was talking to that was just talking about like, no, it was actually Tony that I was talking to, and I was just like, there's really not like name one like really bad quarterback
There's not one
that's
anymore.
starting, but there's not. When back in the '90s when we were growing up,
Oh yeah, you would think
70%
five-
of the league was horrible,
you-
right?
Yeah,
Like,
you question the
horrible.
quarterbacks back then. Huh?
But
Come
now
on, our
it's a
star
new league,
quarterback
that's
was
what I
Cordell
mean.
Stewart.
everybody's way
like,
more.
who's the worst quarterback in the league? Let's talk about this right now. Worst starting quarterback in national football. Joe Flacco. He looked pretty.
I
damn
guess
good.
I guess he is a starter. I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
about that.
He
But
looked pretty damn good on Sunday.
Well, he looks good, but it's just like he's like past his prime at this point. No offense.
Oh, absolutely. But he still
sorry,
looks
I'm
good.
going,
He
going
does,
down
but-
my list here. Quarterbacks,
I
and
feel like I'm losing hair.
that's the plan for you, Laura.
Yeah, but like I only have so much. I don't.
I mean, I could throw out Danny Dimes, but even
Well-
Danny Dimes is probably a Hall of Famer in the '90s.
Right off the bat, think of the AFC North. We have Joe Burrow,
Yeah, he's good.
Lamar Jackson,
Yeah. We're good to go.
the probably the worst of the division. I don't think he's that bad as everybody makes him right now. Mr. Trubisky.
Yeah.
Not Jacoby, probably.
Well, sorry, I'm jumping past Jacoby, but to who the eventual starter is, and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Which once again, Deshaun Watson.
But
we've
even
always said this.
Jacoby, like you look at his stats, he's probably an upper echelon '90s quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
You know what I mean? He completes over 60% of his passes. He throws more touchdowns.
Yeah, at that
than
time he would be
interceptions.
considered a good quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was not. If you look at Brett Favre's stats, like who was an elite quarterback in the '90s,
Yeah.
he threw almost as many interceptions as he did touchdowns.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
100%.
That's how much the game has changed.
And I mean, at this point, people consider
Well, it changed the
Kirk-
game a lot too.
They consider Kirk Cousins a bottom of the line quarterback in some areas.
And Kirk Cousins is a
Dude,
top
he's
level
awesome.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback.
But
Yeah.
but if you look at the rankings, people probably put him in that 20 to 30 range.
Probably they were bottom 15 at
Yeah.
least. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. I mean, that's where the NFL's changing, and it changes kickers, punters. I mean, these punters are
Look at these
unbelievable.
receivers, dude. Every team has 4 receivers. The fourth one would be a wide receiver 20 years ago.
Look at Noah Brown on Sunday. Like, you know, he's the Cowboys' like fourth wide receiver, and he's just balling out. You know, like it's
yeah, but
crazy.
even some of the guys
That's
we
how
don't
you
see
win as
play,
a team is that you make all your guys play better, and then you end up like everybody believes in everybody, and you end up getting the best output.
Yeah, but then you see the Packers receivers and they can't do anything.
Well, that's
Except for the
Cobb-
running backs.
Randall Cobb looked pretty good the other day.
They did in week 1, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, yeah.
They also had a lot more activity out of Aaron Jones this week. So
I chose the wrong year to draft Aaron Rodgers because he's just sucking donkey.
hey, I have Aaron Jones. I don't have Aaron Rodgers. I'll take it because if he wants to dump the ball off to the guy,
Mm.
please do.
I'm picking.
I already
I'm
lost
picking
my
up a quarterback
so
in free agency.
Tua.
Probably
Tua.
Tua or Cooper Rush or somebody. I'm picking up
Tua!
somebody to be my quarterback because I'm until Aaron Rodgers starts proving to me he's going to actually be a quarterback that I can rely on. I'm gonna have to move
Tua.
on. He only got 20 points. I told you to pick Wentz up out of free agency. He got 35 points.
no, I
for
was
me.
picking them up anyway. I talked
No,
about it.
you were going to pick Tannehill.
No, I said there's 3 people I'm looking at: Tannehill, I said him, and then I said one other.
By the way, guys, I've talked to these two both.
Don't you try to act like I didn't say him. Don't you take credit?
Did I not tell you to pick up Wentz?
I said we both talked about it. You agree? We agreed on this decision.
I didn't realize I was playing you that
Hey
week,
guys,
though.
who's kicking ass in fantasy this year?
Not me.
It doesn't matter. You know once the playoffs turn around, you're gonna lose, so it's all good.
I was in the championship in year 2. Have you been in the championship in this league yet?
He just fucked himself right here. Right now. Wait.
All I just said is who's kicking ass.
Mark my word. Aw.
I didn't say I'm gonna finish that way. I said who's kicking ass right now is what I said.
This is entertaining. I'm sorry.
It
Just
is.
watching her hop on a.
Oh god.
Hey, the only one with more points than me is Mr.
You get
Cowboy.
lightheaded. All right, so let's look at week 3. My team is not officially out of the season like I thought they were,
Oh boy.
and let's look at what are you guys, Sean? What are you looking forward to week 3?
Honestly, I want to see the Tua game. I want to see how he does against the Bills.
Miami Bills game. That's definitely
I want to see that game, and
I want
that's
the
probably
Steelers to win.
that's probably the first time I can say the Miami
Steelers or a
Bills game.
Thursday night game.
I know. I
Yeah.
want them to win this week
Browns,
so bad.
Steelers. Like I said,
They always play down though when they play.
no when they
Browns.
play when they play in the division, the Steelers play up. It's when they
No,
play
they
bad
play
teams
down.
out of the
They-
division.
I feel like they play down every time they play the Browns. Every time they play the Raiders. Every time they
Well,
play
the Raiders are definitely once again that's outside of the division.
Well, I get it, but I'm
Inside
saying
the division, the Steelers' divisional record is ridiculous
I mean,
most of the time.
Look, you guys know. but
I'm saying they play even if they win. I'm saying they play like crap during these games.
Yeah, so truthfully, the Browns probably have more.
No, I know
better
now the
plus
Browns are
squad.
better, but I'm just saying like
The only issue the
Usually
Browns
it's
have
just
is no
that game.
quarterback.
you guys know I love to gamble.
Yeah, of course, but you lose a lot. But
I win a lot too, though.
I meant more so on the show when people actually hear.
Oh
it,
yeah,
you know.
100%. But I'm looking at that line Thursday night with the Steelers and
Steelers are what?
Steelers are
underdogs by
5.5.
or 5. That's right.
That's too much. That is absolutely too much. Even without TJ Watt, it's still too much.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm probably hitting what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to tease the line a little bit. I'm going to take the Steelers as 7.5 point dogs, and then I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to pair those two together. So Sean clearly went down the wrong pipe with his drink tonight.
Yep.
I think that's a hell of a bet right there, though. I mean, I love the Steelers plus 5.5. So.
Against Cleveland, a divisional matchup.
yeah, all right, John.
It's a
You
field
need
goal
help?
game. No, I literally what he just said.
You did?
It's 100% what happened.
Wrong pipe.
I need a drink.
And now the ice machine went going, but you're probably not going to hear that on the microphone because our mic's actually somewhat decent.
I don't know.
What are you looking forward to, Jack?
You know, well, I was like I said, the Steelers game is a big one for me. That's really I just want to see them whether they play Kenny or they keep bitching and we just start
We're not
calling
playing
better
Kenny.
plays. I don't really care at this point.
Weeks before that happens.
But they need to do something to get this going because this is ugly and I don't
Fire
like it.
Canada.
But I really
Until
just
next year.
want them to get it going.
I'm telling you, the crowd is chanting.
There's a lot of teams though this week they're playing matchup wise. Like when I was doing my survivor pick, I was having a hell of a time. I'm like, I don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch this.
Dude, I don't want them to play Penny or Kenny. No matter
Penny. He said Penny.
Penny. He said
No
Penny.
pennies here.
I don't want them to play Kenny at this point. If the coordinator is not willing to
Well,
throw
no,
the
I
ball,
get it. That's what I'm saying. Just gonna
I
make
don't
him
want
look
to. I
bad.
don't want to put them in that scenario. Why?
Listen,
Why set them up to fail?
I'm telling you right now, Kenny is
Not
not.
Canada. God damn it. We want to throw the ball.
I'm telling you right now, Kenny is not going to be better this season than Mitch.
I don't think Mitch is bad right now. I think the coordinator, the calls from offense is what's bad.
I
right
mean,
now.
Mitch is completing 70% of his passes.
Like I said, I don't think Mitch has been horrible. Don't get me wrong, I didn't like that pick he threw, but
You know who I'm really impressed with the little bit of, well, actually quite a bit of Steelers action I've watched so far this year? Deontay Johnson. I feel like he dropped a lot of passes over the last couple of
not
years.
last year. Last year he got
Yeah,
better, and the
he
year
got-
before was
the
the
year
year that
before, yeah.
was
But
massive.
like he's made some ridiculous catches this year. Like that one he
Clearly worked on it.
paycheck.
Yeah, but he clearly worked on it too.
Is this his payday year?
No, he got paid right before the season. They,
Yeah, but still,
but they
I feel
didn't give
like
him the
it's-
massive one. They gave him like a 3-year extension instead of the
Same thing they
actual
did with
5.
AB. They didn't
Yeah.
give AB the big deal. They gave him like a 4-year deal or whatever. But
Yep, they gave him a shorter
I mean,
deal.
that,
but
that one catch he had week 1 where he just like reached up. It was like late in the game. He just reached up one handed, pop, and had his
Dude.
feet down. I mean,
did you see the one Claypool made? where the ball was thrown behind him. He
Yeah.
reached his arm back,
You have to get it.
pulled it in with one hand to his chest,
I
and
don't-
got it.
I might have missed that. Was that towards the end of the game because I had to leave?
No.
That I forget when that was,
It was
but I guess
earlier.
I can't forget that catch because that was just ridiculous
Mhm.
the way it was caught.
Your team knows how to draft wide
Receivers, right?
They know how to draft
From the round of 2 to round 4,
and even
they will
that
take a
Pickens looks
Pickens
really
good.
good.
They need to
so
throw the
Oh.
ball to him.
the guy when he comes
The
back
guy's
from-
gotten like 5 like options or
Dude,
chances.
he only had
for-
one. He only had one
game.
last game, and he was
That's what
1
I'm
for
saying.
23 yards.
What do you mean?
1
Like,
for
give this
23.
guy
That was all he got.
Give him some balls. Let him get some reps in.
Dude's a beast. He's gonna be a beast. The other guy I like is that Calvin Austin, who's been injured. When he gets there, I can't wait to see him because he's another little slashy kind of guy.
I'm excited for the Lions game this week.
Who they got?
I looked at the
I looked at it.
line.
They're not favored either.
Mm-mm.
I looked at it because I almost took them.
Oh, Vikings.
Yeah.
Lions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Excited for
look
that
good.
game. Yeah, they
Lions
really
do
do.
look pretty
They
good.
made that
We
comeback.
chose the wrong season to choose the Lions as our.
Well, we haven't
our
chosen a team. I
team.
thought we were just sticking with the Lions.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
we
good
can
with
stick with
sticking with the Lions.
We all like them.
Yeah,
I
I
was just sticking with
agree.
the Motor City.
I think you stick with a team like the Lions for a few years, and then when they get booming, we're like, we called
Right?
it.
I'm gonna say.
I-
We knew
do.
the whole time.
I'll
I
stick
do
with them
say,
until
I
Motor
do
was
want to
coming.
say, when it comes to the Lions, I'm a little depressed that we're now 1 season and 2 games in, and nobody's bitten any kneecaps.
No.
Just saying.
Or
You're mad at
kneecaps
Motor
have
City
even been
again now.
talking about.
I'm just saying, you got to bite them fucking kneecaps, man. You got to.
If you're a losing team, however, Aiden Hutchinson, their rookie, dude was
He's beast,
balling
yeah.
this week, dude.
He's a beast,
What do you have?
for
3
sure.
sacks, 6 tackles for loss, or something like that?
You know who another rookie was impressive? That massive man of a dude for the Eagles. That fucking
Davis,
nose
Terrell
tackle.
Davis,
Holy
or Tyler
cow.
Davis.
He looks like he's a planet out.
Right? He's so big, dude. That was the guy the Steelers were talking about drafting, and then Eagles took him beforehand.
They look good, yeah.
I mean, Tony was talking him up, so I would watch him a little bit, and then he is just a
He's just
massive
big,
person.
but he's athletic. You watch him;
Oh yeah,
he's
quick.
athletic
Yeah,
as
he's
hell.
quick.
But he is just a big dude out of Georgia. But how many guys came out of Georgia this past year?
So a game I'm actually looking forward to outside of my game because I do have a little excitement now into my season, and I think that Giants is a great matchup for the Cowboys.
What's his record against the Giants this year, guys?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't pick. I didn't want to jinx my team with the survivor pool because I'm clearly jinxing the shitty Giants to being a good team right now. But I think that the Giants against the Cowboys defense is going to make Danny Dimes look really bad real quick.
We've said that multiple weeks now.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that game. But the other game in the NFC East, the Eagles Commanders, I'm looking forward to that because I kind of don't know what to expect. Like, is Wentz going to go in and ball out against his former team? Is
Probably.
He can, but I
still
think the
going
Eagles
Eagles,
are good.
yeah.
I still think the
And
Eagles are
man,
just too good.
I don't remember who's. I think Washington's the home team, right? So that'll be
think so.
50% or more Eagles fans, and those fucking Eagles fans were wow.
They're
last night.
obnoxious, dude.
They
so
were
loud.
loud last night. I had the game on as I was falling asleep, like in bed, and I couldn't even hear the announcers. All I heard, every time something good happened, every time something bad happened,
Dude,
you know, it's just
Yeah, you couldn't
The
even
Eagles are
breathe.
just they're stacked. The
Yeah.
roster lineup.
They really are.
They almost did
Yeah,
the exact
yeah.
same thing the Cowboys did when Dak wasn't so great.
Mhm.
They just went out and acquired a bunch of talent to go around him, and then it made Dak look
And
like.
that's what they're doing with Jalen. He's not a first round quarterback, so you're not even paying first round quarterback money. You're just paying rookie money.
Well, next time around, you're gonna pay the dude 40-50 million, and then you're gonna be stuck in the same problem the Cowboys have.
Yeah,
So
but
they're
that's-
just following the same. Like, Jalen's not good enough to win a Super Bowl, I don't think, at this point in time. Maybe
you
he is.
spread maybe the weapons.
No, I don't
maybe you
think he's
just
going to
put
win
the
a Super Bowl,
weapons.
but I think he's going to really like ball out this year and let everybody know. He's
My
not
issue
playing
with him-
around.
My issue with him is once again, this goes back to what I said about Mahomes going with Andy Reid.
Mm.
I don't think the coach is good enough to make Jalen Hurts good enough to win the Super Bowl.
I could agree
I
with
think the
that.
talent's around.
Well,
I think the talent there is good enough to make playoffs.
My other issue is, like, we've seen him with RG3, and he just takes too much of a beating. Your nuts almost gone.
Yeah.
He takes too much of a beating. He really does. I
Yeah.
mean,
He's
and
not
that,
even coming out. I'm going to have to hold it at
Like-
this point.
Yeah, think what Mike Shanahan did to that guy. His
yeah.
career was never the same.
Yeah, RG3 looked absolutely phenomenal the first year and a half, and then he
Mm.
just started getting too banged up. So I think that's going to happen to Hurts. But I mean, as a Cowboys fan, I hope that Hurts has some success, and then they overpay him like Dak, and then by then the Cowboys will figure out they overpaid Dak and figure that problem out.
By
and
then, the Giants will figure out that they need to replace Danny Dimes with the actual quarterback.
maybe, but no, I am looking forward to that Washington Commanders versus Eagles game. I'm still not used to saying Commanders.
Your whole division is kind of close, to be honest with you. The more I've watched it this season so far.
They're better than they were the last 2 years.
It's actually competitive looking.
Yeah, it's better than it was the last couple of years, but still not a great.
I'm not saying it's a great division. I'm saying it's competitive. Is what I'm saying. That doesn't mean by any means it's competitive. Because if you tell me them going against the 40, anybody in your division against the 49ers or somebody like that, I'm probably going the opposite route there of anybody. Except for the Eagles. The Eagles are the only one I can kind of, in my mind, picture beating some of those teams.
So let's talk Survivor pool, guys.
Ooh.
So current standings, Sean is a 1-win.
1-1 with no punishments.
1-1, no punishments. I'm 0-2 with 1 punishment. You're 0-2 now.
No.
She's not 0-2. She's 1-1 with 1 punishment.
1-1 with 1 punishment. So I'm the only one who hasn't won a week.
Oh.
And Laura's punishment just ended. We do have another balloon.
No, we have
but we're
another
gonna
balloon.
Save that.
Yeah, I
for-
think 1 balloon for an episode. You only had to drink 1 bottle of baby stuff. So 1 balloon, I think, is survived.
that's fine. We'll work with that. You okay with that, Sean? I'm
Yeah, it's fine.
Because we're gonna use the other balloon.
I
for
can only
support.
inhale so much stuff in one.
Check out our TikTok channel by
Yeah, subscribe, guys. Subscribe to
follow.
our channel and follow us. Click that ring button so that you know
the
when we
ring
have
of the link of the link button.
alerts. Yeah, we
Um,
want you to follow us.
Is it really a ring?
Listen.
It's a bell.
It is a bell.
But we want that the ring and the ling
Yeah.
bell, you know. But I want you to know right now for the we've had a consistent like right around 40 people per episode on YouTube. So for the people that are tuning in and watching, if you make it this far, we need Sean to lose because I have a really good punishment for Sean the first time that he loses. I'm very excited
Some of
about
your
it.
punishments are not so
Truthfully,
great. just so
guys,
you know.
if you guys go back to last season, I haven't lost in quite some time.
All right, this is the week for it. So Sean, who's your pick?
Broncos. +1, what is it, 1.5?
+1.5. They're playing the 49ers
No
minus
FanDuel
1.5.
no FanDuel with 1.
Yeah, why are
Me
there
and
so
Laura
many
were talking
different
about this earlier.
differences? It makes me so
Just
confused.
saying.
Hey, I mean,
I'll take the
sports
1.5.
books usually
I'll take
buy
the
half
1.5. So
it doesn't matter. Jack, who's your pick?
I picked the Eagles, and I don't know the point spread. I
4.5.
said don't know, and I don't really care.
4.5.
no, 6.
No, when we picked it,
No.
it was 4.5.
Okay, I was gonna
It's
say
gone up now.
I would say FanDuel showed 6 when me and her were
And
talking.
she gets 4.5 because that's what it was in the lines. I
That's
sent
fine.
out
Oh, that's
before.
fine. Once again.
Which I like the Eagles to probably win, but
I think they're gonna win.
NFC East games are normally field goal games. Like when
Yeah,
NFC East versus NFC East, it's either a blowout or a field goal game. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
But all you gotta do is win, baby, win.
So in effort to not jinx my team or jinx the Giants and being a good team, I decided to go elsewhere because the Giants have burned me now twice. And
I almost said to you before you made your pick, I'm like, should we just chalk this up for the Cowboys for you before you
I was
even
very
made your
tempted.
pick?
I was because I honestly think the line is obnoxiously incorrect. I mean, I really do. Even with Cooper Rush at quarterback, it's obnoxiously
line then.
incorrect.
I almost took your Cowboys too.
Change
so,
your pick.
I'm not changing my pick. I'm going to stick with my pick, which is the Falcons +2. And I think the Falcons are going to win straight up. So I'm very happy with getting points. And then if for some reason they lose and Sean loses, then Sean's still going to be the loser. So I'm cool with that.
See, I wanted to pick the Jags.
That's a
If
tough one because there's an injury involved.
Right.
We're picking for you guys.
well,
Just so
that's
you
the
know,
issue that I have. with
we're
this whole thing.
recording on a Tuesday night
Right.
and we're releasing on Thursday morning before the game starts. So like in the Chargers situation where Herbert
It's hurt, but
potentially
we
is
don't know if
injured,
he's playing or
Correct.
not.
which
yet.
by the way, that game was awesome.
Yeah,
Thursday
it
night.
really was.
And Herbert showed how much.
Hell of a guy.
He's
Yeah,
got some balls. That guy,
he was like,
Well, did you see the one play he couldn't
he
throw the
literally-
ball?
he literally couldn't walk
Yeah.
for the first
Yeah.
down, and he couldn't throw the ball. So he just like did that lane.
And then the
thing.
very next play, he goes and throws
30-yard
the dart.
fucking laser.
Yeah.
Right? It's just crazy. Like the guy is crazy. I love watching Herbert play. I really
There's
do.
so many.
yeah. So if he
talented
wasn't
young
playing,
quarterbacks
I
right
would have
now.
chosen that underdog and gone Jags, and been on a different level. But
Remember when I
because we
traded
picked
him
so
to
early,
Tennessee?
it caused me to have to make different decisions.
So early in the year, we're going to reiterate what it is. So the loser gets punished, and the losers determine if there's multiple losers, we use point spread, and if there's multiple losers with the same point spread, then we go to our own fantasy football league to determine the winner by who scored the most points in that week of fantasy football. So, with that being said, real quick, because I'm intrigued with all the exciting young quarterbacks that we were just talking about. If we did a fantasy draft, who would you want your team to take with the first pick?
Pick or is it quarterback or
yeah, quarterback?
Like what kind of are we talking fantasy football or
No,
Addison,
overall.
fantasy?
Let's say the NFL just randomly comes out and says, you know what, the salary cap's all jacked up. We're going to just completely redraft the whole league, and we're going to do NBA style picking. Right? Who's your first pick as a quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes, easily.
Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
Okay, because he's a little bit older now.
Pat Mahomes. Would not even second guess myself.
I'd probably say Josh Allen.
You know what? And I'm gonna have to go with another AFC quarterback. I think I'd probably go with Herbert. I think that Herbert has a lot of upside, and I think that he plays quarterback. I don't like the way Josh Allen plays quarterback. I think he gets too many hits.
Yeah, that's my issue with Josh Allen is he just
Too many hits.
takes too much.
I get it, but he's the kind of guy who wants to go out and play football. And I feel like guys like that,
You
you
tell me
can't
that's not Mahomes.
you can't teach that.
There's
You
another thing
can,
about
but
Josh Allen.
Mahomes gets hit too.
There's another thing about Josh Allen I don't like, and it wasn't last year. It was the year before in the playoffs. I believe they lost both times to the Chiefs last 2 years, right?
Yes.
So
No, who did we flop? Was it the Bengals they lost to last year?
no. Last year they lost to the Chiefs.
I knew they lost to
It
the
was that
Chiefs.
crazy Chiefs.
Then, then it's been
Yeah.
Chiefs both times.
Yeah. So in the Chiefs game, the first time, he got sacked, and then when he was getting up, he didn't like something, and he threw the ball at the one Chiefs helmet. That stuff sticks with me. I don't like I want my quarterback to act like a true professional, and he just act like a little baby.
Do you like Patrick Mahomes?
I would absolutely, if Mahomes was 3 years younger, I would choose Mahomes. Everything's age nowadays. Like go young. And
Mahomes
here's
is still like 28. He's right in his prime in quarterback.
And here's the other thing: we're recording, so whether or not we have 10 followers or 30 or 50 or 1,000, it doesn't matter. You can go back and watch this at some point. I'm 100% saying that you know how the NFL treats running backs now, right? Like, oh, we're going to draft you, we're going to run you to the wheels
they're gonna
fall
get
off.
there. Yeah,
And quarterbacks are going to be the next running back because nobody's going to want to pay other than
Why would you pay receivers? You have 10 on each team at this point if you want them. No?
other than Pat Mahomes. There's just going to be like three.
well, unless they're really worth it. Like
There's going to be those three guys that are really worth paying the $50 million
Right.
plus a year. And then the other guys are just going to be like Kirk Cousins guys. They're just going to be,
Dude.
what team am I on this year? And they're just going to go.
The only
team to
positions-
team.
The only positions I'd want to pay is offensive line. Because if I have that quarterback, I want to protect them.
wow,
Bum, bum, bum.
don't do that.
And if I was looking at offense, tight end, because there's not as many valued tight ends as there is every other position.
Defensive end.
Well, I'm
You
saying
get
on
that
offense. I just
TJ,
said on
you get that
offense.
Micah.
Dude, I just said on offense.
Yeah.
If you want to go to defense, I'm paying defensive line and
Oh, yeah.
corners all day long. Good. Especially corners. If I can get corners, I'm paying those guys all day long to protect me.
Those
Mhm.
Jalen.
There's only a
Ramsey,
few of those
there's
guys
only
that
a
can
few.
do man coverage anymore.
Diggs.
There's only a few. I don't even know if he can do man coverage as much as he can make interceptions on plays.
He doesn't have any this year. He made one hell of a play though to stop the Bengals this last week, so I'm happy about
That
it.
one
So do you like
tackle.
this
he
West
made?
One tackle.
Yeah,
on
I
third
remember.
down.
Yeah.
Do you like this whiskey? Now
I
that
do
you've
like
been
this
sipping on it?
whiskey. It's just pretty good. It's not the best we've had, but it's definitely not. We're nowhere near the worst.
Nowhere
Holy
near the
cow.
worst.
Nowhere near
Did
the
you
worst.
drink it like again?
Yeah, I drink it again. 100%.
What about you?
All right, everybody's favorite segment,
It's corner.
Kids Corner.
Kids Corner. I
Kids
went
Corner.
first last week. You went
No, I
first.
did
No,
first
I
last
went
week.
first last week.
No,
You
'cause
went
I
first
called
the week
it.
before.
No,
They
he
called
went first, then
Yeah,
you went, then
see?
it went back to him.
Oh, okay.
it. You're first.
Okay. What do I want to talk about? Oh, actually, I have a funny story. So I told you I was at this birthday party over the weekend, and it was like for a 3-year-old little girl, for Victoria's daughter.
Mhm.
So we went, and they had like bouncy houses there, and they had like Joey's cousin brought a horse so that Nia could do horse rides because that's like what she's into right now.
He brought over. He's like,
She owns this horse.
Oh, wow.
So she like did it as a favor, like brought her horse, did like horse rides for Mia and a few of the other, kids and a few adults, to be completely honest with you, around the yard.
I'd ride a
All right,
horse.
that's what I mean.
I'd ride a horse.
And so Mia like the whole time was like would not leave the horse alone. Like forget the bouncy house even existed. Like this horse was it. But my kid is obviously BB. He was at the party because he was up at camp with me, and he sees this horse, and don't tell me why this dude thinks that it would be a good idea to like bark at this horse and like run up to it like he was the boss around here. Like this horse will literally kill you. I'm like, sir, get over here. Like I had to like literally like explain to him, like put him in timeout and explain like this horse will trample you. Like you cannot. And so finally he got like to the point where he was like fine when the horse would come walking by. But the first few times, I mean, this horse was big, it wasn't a small horse, wasn't a pony. This was like a horse. I don't know why this guy, being as small as he is, it's like he has Napoleon syndrome, and he like literally like was losing it. I'm like, you're gonna kill yourself.
Elsa's got the same thing. She got stomped on by a deer one time, and she just has like this. I'm big, way bigger than I am. Like I'm a
Right,
in
a horse though, like where's the cutoff here is what I want to know. Like, where's the cutoff,
So I'll go next. But I want to, before I get into any stories, I want to first off, look, I understand there's a lot of ladies out there that make plans for their daughters and sons and whatever else. But can we please be respectful to the football fans out there and stop planning birthdays on 2 o'clock
Right.
on a football Sunday?
1 o'clock it was.
No, it's this one's 2 o'clock next week.
Okay,
And it's
wow.
somebody
Next week, I had one
it's-
this past week. and
It's
I didn't
somebody
go.
we all know, and we're going to be. You and I are both going to be at this party.
He's like, what party am I supposed to
Oh,
go to?
2
What's that?
o'clock on Sunday. We're gonna be at a birthday party together. Be ready for it. You and I are gonna be talking shit fantasy football at a birthday party because it's gonna happen.
Who's this for?
I don't want to say any names, but we know who it's for.
Mm.
Yep, exactly. So, I just, to all the parents
Okay.
out there, I just want to
I want to talk
explain.
shit.
I've literally like planned
wanna
how
talk
I have
shit.
my children around football season, right? Because I don't want to have birthdays during football season. Because there's big time college football people too. So
Yeah,
Saturday
on
and Sunday are
Saturdays.
just out during this time of the year,
Mhm.
and Sundays are even way worse than Saturdays. So
Depends on what part of the country you're in.
I just
Mhm.
yeah, I know. If you're in Alabama or something, sure. But I just want to throw out there that like you should at least take into consideration like what like I get the Steelers don't have a game on Sunday, but there's still a lot of other football.
Yeah, that was
games
probably
on
the consideration when they looked at that.
so anyways, very frustrating. Moving on. Moving on. So last week I told 2 stories last week, but the first story was my daughter, and I last year I feel like I talked Roman because Roman's so easy to talk about because he just gives you material
Yeah.
all day long, right? And the kid. But I talked about Olivia last week with the whole BO thing and getting to the puberty age and stuff. But like I feel like she's my mini. She's a lot. She looks a lot like me. She acts a lot like me. But she
You with the
You feel like, or
even with
she
the
is?
deodorant, you need the deodorant.
yeah, I do. I deodorize like 3 times a day. All right, so yeah, I'm 100% in that boat. However, so the other day, we switched, and Cassie took Roman to football practice, and I took Olivia to dance on Mondays or dance day.
Good.
And Cassie's like, hey, you should probably go in and watch. Here she was telling me to go and watch next week because I guess all the parents watch the last Monday of the month. Anyways, I thought it was this week. And so I like was pulling up and I was like, hey, Liv, I'm going to come in and watch you dance. She's like, no, that's okay. You stay here, Dad. Love you. And I was like, wow, like we're already, she's turning 12 in March. We're already,
Good. You just sit right here.
we're already doing
How does that feel?
I'm being dismissed.
Yeah.
I'm being
this-
dismissed.
this-
And I gotta like
You
look,
thought that would last till high school, didn't you?
no, but I've been telling you, like, enjoy the moments where they're all about dad or all about mom or all this stuff because it changes. And we're getting to that point where it's changing, and she's starting to be like, you know what? I don't know if I want my dad hanging around my friend, especially 'cause I'm just that type
Yeah,
where
you're
I'm
embarrassing,
gonna
yeah.
goof off and I'm gonna be embarrassing. So I get it, but at some point that'll turn around and she'll realize
She'll appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
she'll appreciate it. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Keep being.
I was a little hurt. I was a little hurt for a minute.
Dismissed.
I was a little hurt.
Wait,
but,
Don't worry, I
I
got
do
2
wanna
boys.
know-
I'm gonna get dismissed real
Wait,
quick.
I do need to know what the score was of Little Man's game, though. I'm into this.
the
I
football-
Well, I was gonna say
I need to
weekly
know,
update
I
here.
need to
Weekly
know,
update here.
yeah.
so
I need to know.
first week we lost 42-0.
Right.
Second week we
19.
won 19-0.
Yeah.
Then this week we lost like 35 to
Was it
nothing.
the
Yeah.
injury plague week? or
Yeah,
something?
that's when the
Oh no,
quarterback
no,
got.
okay.
the
So yeah, there
quarterback
was
got
another
hit.
week we got destroyed,
Yep.
and then this week we lost 35-0.
Oh.
And then I actually had to have
Did he get into the skilled positions again?
he did not get in the skill position. We didn't have
No
all the
injuries.
injuries.
Laura, no injuries.
And actually even worse, like the game was out of hand. So this team we played started throwing the football. They were throwing the football, and our team's never seen a pass. So they're like, I said, they're just watching the ball go over their head.
What is
Like,
that?
oh, what? This
What is
ball,
that?
Why is the ball over here?
Why
guys?
is it up in
Yeah.
the air?
So like they were up like
Oh, there's got.
I think it's 21-0 at halftime or 28-0 at
Yeah.
halftime, and then like my theory.
Well, they
was-
held him in the second half. Clearly, it was
Well-
only 35.
Well, my theory is right. Is like if I understand it, look at this age, we're starting to get competitive. We're like, hey, Roman's a backup. He's only going to play when it's out of hand or whatever. But it became out of hand pretty quick, and Roman maybe played 7 or 8 snaps the whole game. So then Cassie's sitting there like, Ian, don't do. And I'm like, no, I got to say something, right? So I literally went up to the coach after the game, and I introduced myself. I'm like, I'm Roman's dad. He's like, oh, hey, how you doing?
That didn't help Roman out at all.
And I was just like, well, no, I was very nice, and I was just like, look, I'm
That don't go over.
I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything. However, like I understand when the game's competitive, like
Yeah.
that my son's going to be on the sideline because he
Right.
doesn't have the football IQ of the other kids.
He's never going to
that.
learn if you don't get him at
But
a point.
As soon as it becomes
Clear.
relevant that this game's out of hand,
Or irrelevant.
he should be on the field, right? That like he should be on the field the
Learning that
majority of the time at that
football
point.
IQ.
And he was like, oh yeah, you know what? Like that team was really big, which they were. They had a lot of big kids. They were really big, and try not to get kids hurt. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Get them out in the field. You have my full permission to get him hurt. Like he needs to learn, and the
Yeah.
only way he's going to learn is going to be on the field. He's like, I can respect that. I'm gonna work hard to
Yeah.
make sure that doesn't happen again. I was like, I appreciate that. Now I'm gonna miss the next game because we have the Pirates game this weekend. So I told Cassie, well, you got to let me know if he actually gets on the field more, because more than likely we're gonna get our ass kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at 4 or 5 games in.
Watch the game he misses. Like he runs
They
first,
win.
first
He gets his,
touchdown. or
he
something.
gets skill position.
I'm like, "What?"
Well, he was in position, so he was playing safety a couple times, and he was in position to make a tackle. And then one of his buddies got there at the same time and jumped on the kid first, and he just stood there and watched. And I was like, no, I don't care if the other kid gets there first. Jump, go in, get that.
Get dirty. Get
We
dirty.
need to get that contact.
Get dirty.
Anyways, he's enjoying it, so I'm just trying to. But as a parent, I do have to I still have to tell the coach, like, hey, look, man, if it's a blowout, my son should be on the field. Like, we're not doing this 4 days a week thing for him to sit on the sideline in a blowout. You know? And he seemed to take it okay, and hopefully it works out for Roman. But I didn't have that dad. Like I'm learning. I'm learning on the fly. I didn't have a dad growing up. I'm learning on the fly. So
No,
Me and you both, dude. Me and you.
right, you were in the same boat.
Me either, actually. Weird.
Oh,
It is weird.
Good.
Yeah.
Whoa, guys.
There you
I mean, a lot of times I'm calling my buddy Dave, who's been on the show. He's on the show last
Yep.
year because he has kids older than my kids, and he's been through what I've been through. Like I'm calling him for advice
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good though. That makes you a good dad. Is that you don't just fly by the seat of your pants. You talk to friends and people who are in your same situation, and you care enough to get other perspective on the best way to handle a situation, which is respectable.
Now, similar to Roman being plenty of material for the show. What's Ollie been up to this week?
Honestly, it hasn't been that crazy, to be honest with you, with any of them.
Yeah.
Outside of the normal, but which Ollie normal is off the wall. But
All day long.
yeah, and Grayson is great. But it's just the normal, so it's hard to say anything because it's what we deal with daily and it doesn't really change. He didn't do anything crazy this week. Realistically, honestly, just the other morning, what was it? Saturday morning before I had a crazy day of showings for the work business. But in the morning, I'm the first one up, no matter what day of the week it is. I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. Doesn't matter, Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter. However, Grayson is the second one up in the house. So about 6 a.m., Grayson comes rolling down. Morning, Dad. Morning, Gray. And he's in the nature of, I'm going to go turn the TV on. I'm going to go play my Switch or my whatever, my tablet. I just turned to him like, yeah, not this morning. We're not going to get to the screens that early. So I'm in the office doing a little bit of work set up for my rest of my day. So I have Grace come in. What do you want to do, Dad? Can we tell her? Sure. Yeah, you guys ever hear of the show? Or not, I don't know if it's a show. I really don't know what it is myself. But Among Us?
Yeah, Among Us is a game. It's
It's
a video game.
hilarious. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
game.
Yeah, so Among Us is like and the only reason I know is because of Roman, right?
Yeah,
But it's
right.
a weird
I
like game
played it.
where you play with your friends,
Yeah.
and one of you is imposter,
Yeah.
like a bad
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
but
The
you're
rest is the
hidden.
crew.
Yeah, it's kind of like Clue. Think of Clue, only a
Yeah.
video game with weird characters.
Yeah, and everybody has different tasks that they have to go around and complete. Like if you're not the imposter, and then the imposter's job is to go around and kill people without anybody else noticing.
Well, nonetheless,
it's-
Grayson coloring pictures. Among Us. They make Among Us coloring picture Godzilla, Batman, Pokemon. I could just keep going down that list. So he sits there. I'm working in the morning. He prints out a picture. He just rolls his little seat up next to my desk, sits at my desk with me, colors with me. Okay, it's about 6:37. I know Ollie's probably getting
Yeah.
up in about half hour or so. Same with Sam. So Grayson, you want to help me cook? I'm gonna go make cinnamon rolls for everybody in the morning. Yeah, Dad. Yeah. Comes in, teach them how to make rolls, teach them how to make Sam's coffee in the morning,
Yeah, that's nice.
and
Teach them how to treat a lady.
So we go through this whole
Maybe you
morning.
should go over and spend a weekend at Sean's.
Wow.
we so
Yeah.
realistically we go through the pipeline of me just teaching him, trying to be a good person, things he
Yeah.
can do growing up,
Right.
things he needs to know. By the end of this, okay, so he's in the living room. He finally gets, he has to sit and roll, so I'm gonna let him put a cartoon on in the
Yeah.
morning. And I'm still getting ready for my day. But I hear Sam come down before Ollie, she comes down. Hey Grayson, morning. Mom, I've had the first thing he says, Mom, I've had the best morning ever. And I could hear it from room to room, and I'm like, you just as a dad, you hear that, and it's like, all right, I did something right.
Yeah.
You made an impression on his day.
Yes.
Mhm. You made him have a better day than what he normally has, just doing dad's related
Correct.
things.
And then he, what's it called? The end of the night, because did my showings that day, came home. Sam had, I think, some photography session. So get home, I have Raleigh and Grayson at that point. And Sam leaves, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I could just stay home. It's like 6:15 at this point. Could just stay home and just finish up the night here before it's bedtime. I just look at him like, how about we go down to the park? There's a park right down the road. Let's get out to the park. Take Ollie. He's been trying his big wheel because Boss Baby's a thing to him now again. So he's riding the big wheel around like Boss Baby. And Grayson takes his basketball. Me and Grayson play a game of horse, which we renamed Grayson because it's just fun for him to spell his name. And Ollie is riding his big wheel in circles around us, basically.
Hoping he doesn't get tagged with the ball.
Correct.
Like in
Which he
every
did.
good Sports Center at ESPN video.
Which he did, and I
From across the room.
which he did, and I had to yell at Grayson because I could literally see on his face that he obviously was trying to
Yeah.
get Ollie versus make a shot. But Grayson just looks at me, Dad, I'm never gonna win this game against you. No. And I looked at him like, Grayson, more likely right now, you're not going to for the next few years. But the more and more you practice this, in
You'll
about
beat
a
me.
year from now, you're gonna beat me.
So you and I are different in that aspect because I tell Roman he's never gonna fucking beat me. Hey, listen, you're big and you're strong, whatever you want to say you are, but you ain't never gonna beat me. If you get better than me, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna make sure you never,
Yeah.
right? Like I make sure.
I
you
understand
never beat me.
evolution. I understand that my son should eventually be better than me.
Yeah, no, it's same thing with my nephew. My I don't know if he listens to the show or not, but my
Ian's
nephew,
ego doesn't allow that.
No, I know it
my
does.
nephew Caden, he's like 6'5" or 6'6" now. He's gonna be a college level football player, and he plays basketball too. And I'm still talking shit on Instagram to him all the time. Like, you ain't never gonna beat me, son. Like, I don't care what you do. I'm a level up. You come at me and you beat me, I'll level up and I'll be better than you.
He
You know?
can beat him right now. probably.
Probably.
I don't know. Last time I saw
Last
him,
time I played Ian, I beat him. So
I was on one ankle.
no, I was on a 1
No,
ankle.
I was on.
So was I.
Oh, we were both on
Then
one.
that was even.
And we were on
Yeah.
like an 8-foot hoop. Okay, let's put
And
it
I
real.
smacked you though. I smacked you. You weren't even close.
So I gotta ask real quick opinions, okay? Now, we all know athletes have to have a different mindset, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have to, like Adrian Peterson, like
Yeah, the
tore,
best-
got knocked
tore
out.
everything in his knee, and then
Yeah.
like 7 games later, he's back running.
He also
like
just got
crazy.
knocked out. But
Right, but you know that's crazy. Holy cow. Cliff Bell. Woo. Okay. Anyways, athletes have a different mindset. Roman obviously broke his collarbone last year playing wrestling because he wasn't wrestling
Yeah.
hard because he got choked out
Right.
through all this last
Yeah.
year. And Roman is adamant that he's going to wrestle again. When I'm trying to get him into basketball, right? He's done 2 years of the church league
He's like, I'm
basketball.
coming out of retirement.
He's played 2 years of the church league basketball, and now the school basketball is gonna be starting up in 3rd grade now. And I'm like, bro, you got to play basketball. This is where it's at. Like da. He's like, no, I want to wrestle. I'm like, they're trying to make them choose one thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like these.
well, yeah, when you get too much, yeah,
it's
too
crazy.
much.
And like he's adamant about wrestling. So I'm like, bro, you like broke your collarbone last year because you weren't wrestling hard. I'm like, if you don't wrestle hard this year, I'm just gonna pull you out because I don't want to see you get hurt again.
Right.
He's like, no, I want to wrestle. I'm gonna wrestle hard. And I'm like, what the hell do I tell this kid? Like, he's actually halfway decent at basketball already, so I kind of want to like push him that way.
But he was halfway decent at wrestling before
He was very good at wrestling
Right.
before he got choked out, and
Correct.
then after that, he just. So I don't know what to
mentally
do.
wasn't there.
Maybe
right.
you just need it, just like any athlete, takes a little bit of time to forget that. And now maybe he's at that point where he.
I don't think
forgets
he
stuff.
remembers at all. I think
That's
he's
what I
just
mean.
he's so far past it. He's like, I don't know what
That's
I
what I
broke my car. Who cares?
What, I
That's what
got
I mean.
choked out? What? Wait.
You know.
I don't know. I really want to put, which I enjoy.
Well, maybe
basketball
what you
more.
do is you find out if there's gonna be any wrestling like things like not leagues but like
camps, yeah.
camps. Get him back in it to see that if he's really serious about it. And if he is, then go ahead and do it. If he's not, then you put
Well,
him
maybe
in
that's what it is.
basketball.
Maybe I put him in like the open mats,
Yeah.
and then I watch. I just stay and
Reach out to
watch.
Blaine,
Yeah.
see if you can go to Blaine's classes,
Yeah,
see how he reacts.
Blaine's talking shit says he should wrestle. So I mean, we'll see. But anyways, I wanted your opinion on that. Like, I want to force him.
That's what I would do. I would
basketball.
literally make sure that he's really gonna wrestle hard and show you, and not just one match, like maybe like a few matches, and then decide if he's really wrestling hard. You put him back in wrestling for a year and just see how it goes. If not, then you start making this avenue, saying, "Look, dude, this is the way we're gonna go."
I almost want to sign him up for both, and then when he doesn't wrestle hard, I just pull him out of wrestling, and he's still in basketball. But if
But
we
if he
like
gives
wait,
up on that, what if it goes opposite?
Yeah,
but no, the bad thing would be he wrestles hard, and now I have this crazy schedule of wrestling and basketball at the same time.
well,
Right.
So maybe I do one more year of the church league, because that's like 1 day
Yeah.
a week
Mhm.
versus
That's what
like
I would do.
3 days a week, and then keep him
yeah.
for
Well,
wrestling.
not only that, but it'll give him time to like develop a little bit more in basketball. Maybe he ends up really liking it.
He's pretty good at basketball. I'll give him that. But anyways, we've gone way over on time. So as always,
Yeah, Sean went. I
Deuces.
almost thought for a minute he didn't. Wait, can we just talk about the fact Deuces that I popped a balloon on the original tape, so that's gonna be an outfit.
so I picked up 3 balloons, and Lord, we had a knife.
Ian's like, yeah, just use this, and I like slowly put it in. It just like bah!
bah! We just popped the balloon.
Because it was so sharp.
Yeah, so the next time she opened it with her mouth, and we're gonna do some little short videos here where we all take hits
With
at
the
Helium.
last balloon,
So
yeah.
go subscribe to her or follow our TikTok.
Yeah, please follow, guys.
Hit that ring-a-ding-ding-ding button.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Deuces.